Ready? Welcome everyone. It's so good to be together again. Let's go ahead and just settle in, find a good position with the feet rooting into the earth and sink a little bit into those knees. Roll the shoulders back. If you're new to Qigong, welcome. I'm Cyndi. We'll be doing some really gentle moving and breathing, and wherever you are showing up from is perfect. We'll start by closing the eyes and taking our attention into our awareness of sensation. So we'll start by feeling our feet touching the earth. It helps to close your eyes as you take your attention on the body. Notice what you feel. Wherever sensation is arising, that's where the physical is meeting the non-physical. And that sensation is feedback and presence of what's here and emerging to be known and experienced. We'll start with a traditional warm-up for bringing some energy to the legs by just gently going ahead and shifting our weight from one leg to the other. Really simple, really easy, rocking from side to side. But without any effort on the upper body part, let it just relax more and more. And notice how the arms kind of find their way under those shoulders as the shoulders follow the direction of the hips. We're just again noticing without putting too much effort into anything other than allowing the rocking motion to take on its own momentum. That's the way. And see if you can add the breath here. Inhale to the center, slow it down, then exhale, shift. Inhale, center, and exhale, sink. Rising as you inhale to center, sinking as you exhale. Good. And notice now the upper body getting even more relaxed, taking on just a little bit of a scooping of that shoulder as it comes down and under, creating little circles here with the shoulders. Just feeling into the movement of the hips and the shoulders, finding each other. And the synchronicity and the synchronization of the breath and the movement becoming one. And then let this just evolve into whatever kind of spontaneous movement feels good for you. So this is where we break out of form and structure and just go with what feels good to bring more aliveness into the body, more freedom. So it can be slower or faster. It can be sinking deeper into the earth or rising up more into the heaven energy. That's a nice stretching, moving through the space energy that doesn't have to look in any certain way. It just has to feel good and really trusting in letting go of anything that's stressful or confining, and give it a little shake. Shake in the hands, shake in the knees, and add a little twist in the spine to that shake. That's the way. And just keep moving and keep breathing. That's about all we have to remember in this class, is to breathe and to move and to be present with what we're noticing, what's arising as we do the practice. Good. Come back to the center. Pause one more time. As part of our warm-up, we're checking in again with how we feel now that we've created a little bit of movement in the body, landed our attention on our breath, and connected the two. We might notice something different arising in our sensation, and we may not. Both are perfectly fine. We'll just be with what's arising, noticing it, and then shift your weight into the leg closest to, we'll call it the candle holder here, and our other point of reference will be towards the Buddha. So the leg closest to the candle holder, shift your weight there, and slide the foot closest to the Buddha back, and then create little circles in the ankle, and you'll feel that circular movement rising up the leg into the knee and into the hip, and reverse the direction. There we go. Good. Just letting things find their own rhythm here. And then if it feels safe for you, tuck the toes under, put a little pressure on the top of the foot as you sink and stretch the fascia on the top of the foot. Good. Now draw that arm forward and draw that knee forward and up, and we'll come into a balanced position here. This hand is penetrating energy, projecting energy towards the knee. Good. Now take the hand that's lifted, draw it across the body, and then turn the palm down and press down and into the opposite leg. Good. Shifting the weight into the leg closest to the Buddha, picking up the toe closest to, or excuse me, the heel closest to the candle holder. Slide the foot back. Good. So you're still balancing here, even though you're just on that toe, and then adding a little challenge to that balance by creating some movement in the ankle and the knee and the hip, reversing direction. Wonderful, it should feel good. And then if you want that extra stretch for the top of the foot, we'll put a little pressure on the fascia, sink a little down, adding a little more pressure or a little less by rising up. Good. Draw the arm forward. Good. Posting the weight into the leg, lift the knee. Good. Take the palm of this hand, direct energy into the knee of the opposite leg. Good, holding your balance. Now this can be done with the toes still remaining on the floor as well. Good. Extend the arm forward, palm up, reach across the body. Turn the palm down, and as you do, brushing the knee and placing the foot to the floor. Let both arms come up, and then sinking down. Let the arms come across, inhale, up, and exhale, sinking down. Hands on the hip this time, sink, and let's roll through the hips. Continuing our warm-up now, more tension into the hips. Good, rounding out all the flexibility in those hips and reversing direction. That's it, nice and slow. Of course, you're working within your own range of motion and comfort and any issues you might have with your joints. Let's pause and reverse. Same thing, opposite direction. You might notice some things feeling a little different in this direction. That's very common. Give yourself permission to slow down as you move through this hip flexibility, slowing down. That's it, and come to the center. Good. Drop back into the lower body with the weightedness of the legs sinking down. Think of roots sinking into the earth, and let the arms rise up like branches, just shoulder level. Notice how the wrists round out on the top. Good. And the fingers are weighted to the earth. And then let the arms find their way back next to the sides of the body. Good, as the legs straighten, and inhale, sink back into the heels, let the arms rise, and exhale. Float the arms down. So feel gravity naturally taking the arms back to the earth as you exhale. And as you inhale, feel the lungs filling up, raising the arms. We'll do 2 more and do that nice and slowly. This is an effect, starting the warm up for the arms. Good, and 1 more. All the way down to the side. And then turn the palms out, look up, reach up, gather a big ball of energy over the head and sink back into your legs. Good. And draw that intention of bringing energy down, 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 and catch that ball of energy right at the lower dantian, just below the navel. Good. And we'll take the hand closest to the Buddha, rest it on top of the opposite hand, and then draw that hand, both hands, up to the heart. And take the thumb of the hand on the outside, push it into the palm of the opposite hand, and extend the arms forward. Stretch the top of the wrist. Good. Now pull the elbow back next to the ribs. Point those fingertips down to the earth and press forward, stretching the inside of the wrist. Draw back with the opposite fingers. Good. Do that again. Scoop back. This time turn the fingers up so the wrist is facing downward. Scoop forward. Keep coming towards me. Draw the hand over the head. Now clasp those fingers behind the head and draw the elbow back, and then square your shoulders and come to a side bend. That's the way. Now extend both arms away from each other. Good. Bring them out in front of the body, in front of the spine as they stack one on top of the other. Bring them down, creating a ball of energy at the navel. Turn it to the side. Extend and stretch it out, create an expansion of energy. Feel it, compress it, expand it on the inhale, mobilize the chi. Exhale, contract it, and compress it. Good. One more time, inhale. Good. Turn the palms up, reach the arms overhead. Big breath. And again, directing the energy down the central channel, guiding energy like a pillar of light down into the body. Imagine feeling the body fill up. Binging on this energy. Some of you will find that funny based on the conversation we were having earlier. Now bring the palms again together, opposite hand on top now. So the hand closest to the candle holder on top. We'll pull that up to the heart. Take the thumb of the opposite hand, push it into the palm and extend the arm forward. And stretch the top of the wrist. You can feel it right here, and you can pull back just to the level of comfort that supports you. Good. Feeling a stretch in the tendons. Let's bring it back and forth. Another wrist stretch, different angle. Yeah, we want to make sure all the blood and energy is flowing into the hands for our practice. Now fingertips pointing up. Come on forward again. Keep coming. Keep coming. Good. Bend the elbow. Keep coming back. Now you're hooking the fingers, clasping those fingers as you draw the hand back. Draw the elbow up and create a nice stretch for the tricep. We're going to add a little bit of a side bend here. That's the way. Pressing that bottom hand down to the earth, top hand up to heaven, looking up to heaven, and then drawing the energy into the front of the spine, compressing it down. Feel yourself sinking. Feel things getting heavy as we come below the horizon. Good. And then again, breathe in and feel the energy rising up and sink down. Good. And one more time, breathe in, feel energy rising up and lengthening along the spine. You might even see the color of the energy shift as you extend it. It might turn into a bluish, kind of lighter frequency energy, and as you sink, it becomes more red, more dense, more earthy, and then turning and creating a ball between the hands horizontally. Inhale and exhale. Good. Noticing as you inhale and expand and stretch the energy, you're pulling the yin and the yang apart from each other, creating more space for them to interact. And then as you bring the hands closer together, the yin and the yang are coming in towards each other in a responsiveness and an engagement. Good. And this compressing and expanding of this energy is shifting. Good. Shifting the field around. Now we'll take that energy and move it up the front of the spine like you're holding a ball. Pull it up, 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 and over the head. Imagine a ball of light circling around the back of the head. And we want to draw it all the way from the upper back, down the spine, down the back of the legs, down to the earth, reaching out in front. Regather that energy, pull it up the front, all the way up nice and slow. Good. Pull up, 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 up. We're going to go up and over the head one more time, around to the back of the head. Good. And then we'll stretch the hands apart once again and push out as you sink into the roots. And let the arms come down. That's the way. And as you reach down now, you're going to go ahead and cross your hand that's closest to the Buddha in front, crossing the wrists. Good. So the hands, the palms of the hands are facing away from each other. And then you'll rotate them so the palms of the hands face each other. Clasp the fingers and imagine pulling roots up from the earth, and bring the hands to the heart, feeling a nice stretch in the wrists. And then feel the earth pulling the roots back down. And then this time with arms straight, bring them forward, all the way over the head if that's safe for you, into a back bend, an extension. Good. Now let the hands come behind the head, uncross the arms and fingers, and then draw energy off the body that's no longer serving us. Come down. Good. And crossing the opposite hand in front, palms face away. Rotate so the palms face each other. Interlace the fingers. Pulling up energy from the earth, pulling up into the roots. Pull up to the heart. Good. Sink down. This time pull up and over the head, getting a nice stretch in front of the spine, a nice extension. Release the hands behind the head. Good. Pulling stress off the back of the neck, pulling anything off the body that's not serving us. As you sink into the knees, make sure your knees aren't passing your toes, but you're sitting back in your hips enough. Let that hand closest to the Buddha cross over the opposite. Turn, rotate, clasp the fingers, draw up. But you feel a little bit of a drag on the hands as you pull up from the earth. Good. And then you give in to the gravity as it pulls you back down. Good. And then you decide to extend the arms and reach, creating a little bit more leverage, and then feel as the arms rise up over the head, the lightness, the levity of reaching into the field above the head for support and inspiration. Now extend the arms, sink, same thing, crossing the opposite arm in front, cross at the wrists, rotate the palms, interlace the fingers, pull energy up. Feel it entering the legs. Feel your legs filling with energy. Pull up to the heart. Good. Surrender back down. And then reaching the arms out. A little bit more leverage here as we pull up and get past that resistance and draw the energy all the way over the head. Letting go. And falling back down towards the earth. Good. This time bring the backs of the hands together. Pull up without crossing. Draw the arms over the head. Create a big circular energy. Cross the hands now and place them on the opposite shoulder. Good. And then sink the hands down. Let them slide down the arms, brushing the arms. And holding the hands just below the navel. Good. Separate the hands and put some support into the kidneys as you lean back there. Good. Place the position of the chin where it feels most supportive for your neck. So if you can let your head drop back, but if that doesn't feel good, bring your chin forward, still getting a nice stretch on the front of the kidneys while supporting the back of the kidneys. And Then bending the knees, flattening the back, sinking down and sliding the hands down the back of the legs, reaching forward, gathering energy, and pulling up. Good. And from here, we'll shift again from side to side. Nice. Good. So noticing, because we were going up and down on the vertical plane, noticing if you're feeling lightheaded or anything, that regain your composure here as we just rocking the body a little bit between these practices. We're going to work more here on the horizontal plane, and we're going to work with something in the beginning that's very simple called water wheel. So it's simple and familiar in a way that we've done before. We've done our twisting and rotating the arms around the body. Again, working with that water element because it is associated with the kidneys, and we're creating circular movement around the kidneys. The water wheel, however, adds this dimension of a figure 8. So the arm comes across, creates a loop around the opposite hip, and notice it creating that loop behind the body. It's a looping energy, stirring up the water element. Good. Now we're going to add a piece here, and I'll show you how that looks. So it might take a little bit to learn it, but it's really a nice practice. So as we come back, good, we're going to go ahead and bring the arm up as if we're scooping up from below to above. And as the hands facing the face comes in, collapsing the wrist, the finger starting with the pinky fold in, and then the hand rotates and we brush down. Good. The opposite hand comes around, creates that loop, that infinity loop, and then up. Let the elbow bend here. Start to curl those fingers in, rotate the wrists, and let the hand brush down. Think about brushing down the inside of a barrel. Opposite hand, come around that infinity loop, create that infinity symbol, reach up from infinity to infinity, and flow back down. This is a new movement, so it might take a little bit to get, and that's okay. Take your time and move slow. It should be graceful and easy after a while. Holding in. Once you get the pattern, see if you can challenge yourself to slow down. So we're merging the infinite potential of the earth with the infinite potential of heaven and calling those into each other. Notice we're continuing the rocking motion, that comforting, familiar, primal movement. The body finds so healing and nurturing. creative in those wrist movements. Let your freedom find its way into your movements through the imagination and the experimentation. It doesn't have to look exactly like what I'm doing. It just has to feel like it flows for you. Of course, you might have some limitations. We need to integrate our limitations as well. Let's do a couple more on each side and challenge ourselves to go even more slowly than we're comfortable moving. Let your hand be tracked by the gaze. Notice the gaze shifting hands. One more on each side. Try to do it with as much relaxation in the shoulders as you can. That's the challenging part. That's it. Now bring both hands behind the back. Slide the hands up. Once again, support the kidneys, stretching the front body. Slide the hands down. This is a way to ground the energy into the legs, really smoothing out any wrinkles, if you will, in the field. Filling any holes in the aura, if you will. You can imagine seeing everything open up that's meant to be open and anything sealing that's meant to be sealed. Just trusting your body knows what to do with this energy, catching a ball right at the navel. Hold. Good. Bring the hands back, roll through the wrists, and let the arms float forward. Practice in between this flowing motion. Again, a very simple practice of connecting the movement with the breath. This one being so simple, easy to remember, easy to do. And it also puts us in touch with something that's always existing, but we're rarely aware of, and that's that inner wave. So we want to turn our attention to something that's always present, that's alive and flowing through our biology and through our field. Acknowledge it by trying to mimic its being, its existence, by creating movements in the body and the breath that align with it and reveal it. Do two more. Stay nice and poised in the present moment. Whether you feel anything or not, notice anything or not, trust you're aligning with something that's always present and available. Now turn the arms out to the side with the palms up. Reach up, gather, and sink. Good. And create a ball of energy over the head again. Good. We step back a little. We're creating a nice ball of energy over the head. We're doing some side bending now. Just bending to the side. And center, and to the opposite side, and center. Good. Use your side bend to exhale. Looking up if that's safe, looking at the floor if it's not. Noticing what you're noticing. If it's uncomfortable to keep your hands raised overhead, you can take the arms out in front and do your side bending with your arms on the horizontal plane as your spine is on the vertical plane. Again, work at your capacity, adapt and adjust, and if the alternatives I'm expressing and offering aren't suited to you, find your own. You can do any of these practices seated. Well, I mentioned before, I always tend to mention them a little later on in the practice, and I'd like to mention them up front. For some reason, it hasn't happened. Now bring the arms forward, create that ball of energy out in front of the middle dantian or the heart space, and then rotate it over to the right or towards the Buddha and to the center. Good, and exhale, go in the opposite direction. And inhale, return to center. Good. Notice as we inhale, when we're not rotating the spine, we have more capacity in the lungs to take that breath in, sending it down into the belly. And as we exhale, we have the support of that spinal twist expelling the breath for us. So we seek to work in alignment with the natural flow and harmonic of how the body receives and mobilizes, and how it eliminates and stabilizes. Good. Those elbows are relaxed, those shoulders are soft. You can bring the hands in a little closer, a little further away, depending on your comfort level with the size of ball you want to work with. You can imagine this ball of energy circulating around the body, around the lungs and the heart, organs of respiration. And then move the hands down a little lower to the waist area, and we'll bring this energy to the organs of digestion, the spleen, the pancreas, the stomach, the liver, and the gallbladder. And just seeing those organ systems receiving the support they need from this energy. Slow, gentle twist, moving more down the thoracic towards the lumbar, and then let the hands come a little lower, closer to the lower dantian or the navel, and we start to engage with the organs of elimination, kidneys, bladder, large intestine. Nice, easy, slow rotations without rotating in the knees. Keep your rotations above the waist. And then bring the hands back to the center. Draw the arms out to the side. Take a breath in, reach up, gather. And exhale, sink down. When the hands get to the navel, we're going to create a big ball of energy. Reach down, and with the hand closest to the Buddha, you're going to scoop the opposite hand up. Good, and as the hands come above the lower dantian towards the heart, we turn the palms towards the heart and keep rising up. And as the palms come over the head, we turn the palms towards the top of the head. Good, and then we turn the palms towards each other and separate the hands. And we go back down. Good. And with the palm closest to the candle holder, we lift the opposite hand, back of the hand, weight it into the palm, up, facing the heart, facing the top of the head, facing me, and separating. Good, one more on each side, sinking down slowly, gathering. Good. Holding the back of the hand, drawing up the mountain, energy rising, lifting, reaching its peak and scattering back to where it belongs. One more on the other side. This time the hand closest to the candle holder lifts and holds the opposite. Pull up just to the heart now. Shifting our weight to the leg closest to the Buddha. Pick up the toes of the opposite foot. Turn and pack the energy down into the earth. Good. Reach the hand that's closest to the screen down, as if you're digging in the earth, pulling up. Something precious from the earth, looking at it, assessing it, seeing what it is, and bringing it down, blessing it. Good. And bringing this treasure into the lower dantian, a seed, an idea. Pack it. And then draw it up around the navel, into the kidneys, down the back of the legs. Reach out, gather. With the opposite hand, lift. Coming up. Bring the hands up to heart level. Shifting our weight into the opposite leg. Good. Turn the palms over. Rotate on to the heel. Good. Bend the knee. Look down. Reach through. Draw up from the earth. Something that's been waiting for you. Sitting there like a treasure. Waiting. Draw it up. Take a look at it. Let it be blessed by the heaven. The energy. Bring it down. Good. Feel it getting heavier and heavier as it sinks closer to the earth and landing in the opposite palm. Then we bring it up around that navel center into the kidneys where it can be juiced with vitality, activated for manifestation. Good. So we're reaching down into the soil of the earth, asking for a blessing, asking for an idea whose time has come, shifting the weight. Looking into the depth and drawing up from some place deep inside, something wanting to be known. Bring it up. Bring it to the light of day. Let it be blessed by your intention to create space for this new idea, and let it land. Bring it around, giving it the energy it needs to survive, back down into the earth, reaching around, gathering again. Buddha hand lifts up to the heart, shift. Good. Use your own imagination here and visualization to see what might be arising in your own body and your own awareness as we do these packing techniques to bring into existence that which is seeking to be known, that whose time has come. Now draw the hands up the inside of the legs. Pull the backs of the hands together over the head. Create a big circle of energy. And let the arms come out in front with the hand closest to the Buddha on top, crossing, turning the palms down. Good. Now the hand closest to the Buddha will extend in that direction as we sink into our horse stance. We'll draw back with the opposite arm like a bow. Keep looking forward. Good. Now the arm that's extended, we're going to create tiger paw. You can also call it tiger claw. So the index and the thumb are holding something about the size of a brick, and then the opposite, or the other fingers are starting to curl like a tiger, and then we look in the direction. Good. And then extend the opposite arm. Good. Staying in your horse stance. Good. And let the arms float down. Backs of the hands come together. Inhale. Big energy rising up, supporting the courage that's coming forward now. The opposite arm crosses in front. The arm on top, I should say. The arm closest to the candle holder. Crossing on top. Good. As we bend the elbows, we fold the hands in and down. And the hand that's on top extends out. The opposite arm draws back on our bow, and we sink into our horse stance. Good. And then we create tension as we pull back with that elbow. We look out like we're projecting energy out that hand. Creating as if you're holding a brick with the first finger and thumb. Curling the fingers of the opposite or the alternative fingers and projecting energy out the hand. Good. Now extend the opposite arm. Let your gaze follow that movement. Good. And let the arms slow down. Good. And as we lift the arms back of the hands together, you can come out of your stance to give your legs a little rest. Look up, feeling a nice field of energy being generated around the body. Turn the palms up. Good. Hand closest to the Buddha, crossing on top. Turn the palms down. Good. And again, draw the bow. Looking down. Backs of the hands together, rising up. Feel a little arch in the spine here. Big circle with the arms coming around. One more on the other side. Good. Make sure the knees aren't collapsing in. We want our nice wide stance. Imagine a ball of energy between the knees. Extend the arm and lower the arms. Good. And bring the hands up and down. Reach around, gather. Inhale, arms up and down. Two more like that. Gather and lift. Up and over the heart. Without forcing anything directly into the heart. We just let the energy spill up and around and let the heart take what it needs. And let the arms reach out to the side. Gather big, scooping energy up and over the head. And then let the hands cross and land with the fingers on the collarbone. Tuck your chin. Good. Feel as though your heart is protected, yet open. Begin tapping on the collarbone, around and towards the lung points, and then moving towards the kidney points. Uncross the hands, keep tapping, outward and inward. Drop down to the sternum and tap. Thymus. Imagine your intuition and your instinct being stimulated by this touch, this tapping, awakening that which is always present, maybe somewhat dormant. And then take the hands, tap to the outside of the ribs. Good. Reach back, tap on the back. of the kidneys. Tap down the back into the glutes, the buttocks, around to the hips, around to the quad. Good, up and down. Up and around again into the kidneys, down the back of the legs, up the front of the legs, down the outside of the legs, up the inside of the legs, calling our energy to the surface, go up the sides. Good, building our Wu Chi field, crossing again, tapping down the arms. Good, rub your hands together, interlace your fingers and roll through the wrists. Reverse direction. Now pressing down, stretch the fingers, stretch the tendons of the arms. Draw the arms out in front of the heart. Good. Draw the arms up over the head. Come up onto the toes if you can. And exhale, release the arms down as you land back into the heels. And let everything loosen up. Good. Reach down, gather, interlace the fingers, bring it up. Press down. Extend it forward. Bring it up. Release the arms slowly. As soon as things start getting closer to the earth, gravity takes a hold and collapse and let everything shake. Good. One more time. Gather, interlace the fingers, pull up. Stretch the fingers, press down. Feel the stretch in the tendons, the arms pushing outward from the heart, raising upward from the roots of the tree into the trunk, into the branches. Exhale, start to slide down. Feel gravity pull, 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 and land and shake. Good. Now taking and shifting the weight to one leg, let's go ahead and rotate. So we're just rotating the hip, letting that heel swing inward and outward, pivoting on the big toe, bringing attention to that big toe. Oh, feels good. Almost there. Place the weight into this leg. Shift the weight, support it. Take the other heel and dance it forward and back for me. Good. Feel it in the ankle, the knee, the hip. Good. Keeping the channels of the lower body open, keeping our root system open. Good. Now, if it feels safe for you, come up onto the heels and dance a little bit on the pads of the feet, bouncing gently. Feel that all the way through the body. You can hear it in my voice. I wish I could hear yours. Now land on your heels. Shake. Good. Spontaneous movement, just like we started. Let yourself move any way that feels good. There's no rules here. It's freedom. This is what freedom feels like. Good. Let your body swing. That feels good. We're going to do a little bit of tapping here as we start to wind down our movement in the spine. I'm going to pause for a moment before we do our tapping and self-massage to finish things up. Just closing the eyes and noticing how you feel. That's all there is to it. Notice you might have a little tingling sensation or a relaxed, calm sensation in your awareness, whatever is landing for you, to notice now, freely open to receive what's here. Good. Now take the palms facing up and bring them in front of the face. We'll start by tapping on the top of the cheekbones with the tips of the fingertips. And breathing. Going out to the temples. Good. Down to the jaw. Around the jaw to the chin. And tracing that line back out and up. And all the way up into the forehead. Tapping on the forehead from the center and outward. Let me come closer. tapping out to the temples. Now creating soft fists and tapping on the skull itself, all the way around the skull. Do what feels comfortable. If fingers are better for you, do fingers. If gentle, soft fists are better, do that. Let's come all the way around to the back of the neck and tap there as well. Onto the side of the neck. Good. Now tap over to the opposite shoulder. Down the inside of the arm. Top side of the arm. Switch sides. This can be done with an open palm as well. Get into the side of the neck. Now tap right on the chest. And then open the palms and hold. Close your eyes and breathe and feel the energy of the hands penetrating the lungs and the heart. These are the organs of respiration. Breathe in, breathe out. Slide the hands down to the right and left side of the rib cage, organs of digestion. On the right side you have your liver, on the left side your spleen. And between the stomach, gallbladder, pancreas, wrap that energy around. Hands to the kidneys, lean back. Feel the kidneys, the organs of elimination, large intestine. Slide the hands down, around the buttocks, around to the quads. Interlace the thumbs. We'll come up the right side, over the transverse, down the left side, into the large intestine, the organ of elimination, and intending that our body has the ability and the freedom to eliminate what's not healthy for it. That things are flowing in the way they're designed to flow for the benefit of the organism, to be in harmony with all of creation. Separate the hands. And one more time, slide down the back of the legs. Reach forward. Scoop in between the legs and slide up the inside of the legs. And bring the hands up, backs of the hands together. Opening out the heart, spilling out, opening like a flower. Good. Now your left hand is your yin hand, your right hand is your yang hand. If you feel that you need more strength of yin, create a fist with your yin hand. If you feel you need to strengthen your yang, create a fist with your yang hand. Now your yang is your ability to take action on ideas. Your yin is your ability to receive them. So whichever one you feel that you'd like to strengthen, go ahead and create a fist with that hand and bring it to the heart, acknowledging that you're working on that strength. And then the opposite hand covers to support your intention and bow forward, acknowledging yourself and the humility to the force that brought us together for our experience today. Take the fingers together and fold them in, and with the thumb, pull it down, create a heart, and bring it right here to the center of the chest. Good. And may you have a beautiful day. May the mystery take you into unexpected surprises and bless you. Thank you for being here. Let's see who's here and how it went for you.